lovely stitches, it's Jan again from Thread Garden, and I'm going to do a finish update and also show you what I'm working on with my whips. As many of you know from Instagram or my blog, I've put the final stitches in the Bothy Threads Cut Thru castle. It's been 16 months in the making. I put the first stitch in at about June the 20th, 2013, and I finished this late October 2013. So yay, I'm so happy to finish it, and I'm really pleased with its end result. As you know, it's stitched on light blue 16 count Ada using a kit with DMC like threads. I ran out of a thread and I was able to match one up perfectly with DMC, so I'm wondering if that's what the kit is. I just have to put some finishing sequins on here once I wash it, and I'll get it framed. And I'll do this in January when the kids are home on school holidays over our summer break. I love it. I probably love the little Wizards attic the most. I think it's so cute. The flag also is something I particularly like. Moving down from the tower, we've got a cute little stairwell in the tower. We've got this really cute bridge over here, which is just gorgeous, with the man fighting another. We've got the kitchen hand using the dragon to light the fire. We've got a little fighter attacking the castle, climbing the ladder. We've got the cute little cellar. We've got some beautiful little goldfish. And of course we've got the prisoner about to escape. His little friends dug a tunnel for him to escape on. And my little Tom loves it. It's going to look so cute framed in his wall. I would just frame it in a white wood, and I think that'll work absolutely beautifully. So yay, all finished, all ready to go up. I'm thrilled. Another finish, yay! I've stitched David's stocking. David's my husband, and I've done him a shepherd's bush Christmas stocking. It's very hard to say that without it being a tongue twister. And so I've had it sewn up into a stocking. I didn't sew it up myself. I've done them before and they're a little bit tricky, and I wanted it to be uniform with the other ones, so I've paid someone to stitch it up into a stocking. And it looks so much better stitched, doesn't it, into a stocking than it did when it was just the fabric without a finish. Look on the back. I'll show you what the backing fabric is. It's a beautiful burgundy cotton fabric with a little black star, and it just seemed to pick up the colours of this king's robe, the colours of David, and the black in the bird and the top corner. So I'm very pleased with that. Everyone now has a Christmas stocking to hang up, and so Santa's going to be a busy boy this year. This is a large count Ada. I think it's 11 count. You stitch over 2, so the stitches are very large. Most of them are pearl cotton threads that you're stitching in with a beautiful charm pack you purchase. Absolutely delightful to stitch up, not that time consuming, just takes a couple of months of a few evenings, an hour here or there. It does really whip up very quickly, so I highly recommend the Shepherd's Bush Christmas stockings if you want something that's beautiful quality, looks gorgeous, handmade with beautiful variegated threads. You really can't go past it. Not particularly cheap, but so worth it. An heirloom piece really, so I'm thrilled to finish his stocking. It's great. So now I'm going to share with you my whips. So you might remember on my last video I showed you that I was working on the Bucilla kit, A Touch of Gold, a beautiful fairy pattern, and I have managed to do a bit more stitching in the top left corner. I'm almost at the edge. I've just got one row off the edge and then I'll have a top left corner. I have chosen to stitch it all in the 2 threads. I think I had a conversation with you last time about whether I'd stitch some of it in the 1 strand as was recommended, with some being stitched in the 2 strand, and I think I was just too confused. I think I'll just stitch it all in the 2 strand. Some of you were very clever and said, well, you might run out of thread, and that's very true, but I think I'll just go to a local needlework shop and I'll just match up the threads with the DMC colour and if I happen to run out of thread. So I'm more than happy with that. Coming to the fairy though, if the fairy's got any one strand work, I will use the one strand on her, but the background will all be two strand, if that makes sense. This is on a beautiful 28 count mushroom even weave, and I'm trying to do a little bit a couple of times a week just to keep it moving. I've been a bit busy the last week and had a few parties and social events, so I haven't had much chance to cross stitch at all. So I'm hoping this week will be a much different scenario, so you can hopefully watch that one grow over the next few months. Now for the next one. This is the Prairie Schooler alphabet. This particular letter is J is for jack-o'-lantern. I hope you can see that there, so the lamp is shining on it. So that's what I'm stitching, J is for jack-o'-lantern. I've started it around Halloween, and this is how far I've got. It's quite a lot of intense stitching. It's surprisingly quite a full stitching block, and so I haven't done as much progress as I'd like. I would have hoped to have had it finished now, but anyway, I'm hoping I'll get it done over the next 2 nights. I'm going to work on it solidly over the next 2 nights. This is 36 count natural linen, and it's absolutely beautiful to stitch on. I'm really pleased to be starting the second row, and I look forward to finishing it very soon. So it's lovely to have this one in the mix of my whips again now that I've finished the Bothy Threads Castle. This is the Shores of Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings, and I'm stitching this pattern on 32 count linen. I've just temporarily forgotten the colour of the fabric. It's sort of like an autumn gold. So I'm stitching block 2. Excitingly, Jessie Marie does stuff, and now Jellycles Forever have got the pattern, and they're starting it, which is fabulous because it's such a beautiful design. I am doing it with the recommended DMC colours, and I've mentioned before that I've been a bit disappointed I didn't use the silk conversion. But actually now I've stitched the second block, I'm actually really happy with it, so I'll show you that. There doesn't look to be a lot of stitching, but geez, it's taken me a while. But anyway, I'm getting there. So I don't know if you can see, but someone was really clever. I think it was on Cross Stitch and Discuss, and they said if you don't particularly want a grid of fabric, but you've got to count stitches, every 10th stitch you actually do the full cross on. You do the half cross for the 9 stitches, and every 10th stitch you do a full cross. It's a really good way of counting and keeping track of where you are. So that's what I've done for the top and the bottom blocks. I don't want to make a mistake yet with ending the block and stitching downwards, and I'll be absolutely sure I've got this line in the perfect spot before I stitch downwards here. But I thought it's just a really neat way of counting your fabric if you don't particularly want to grid it as such. I have got a marker that works beautifully, and I use that for some pieces like the fairy, that's solid stitching, just to work out where a 10 by 10 block ends. But I don't always want to use that, particularly on fabrics where I'm not going to be covering over the stitches. So I really like this method for counting across when you have to do a row of a particular colour. I really love this idea. And so I'm having fun stitching the fish. That's so sweet, and this block is going to look really nice, and I definitely will try and have this block finished by the end of the month and work more consistently on this project. I was thinking I definitely need to try and do at least a block every month, although some of the blocks are double, so they would probably take 2 months. But it's a beautiful project, isn't it? So I think that's all I've got for you today. I've had a lovely month of stitching. It's lovely having some finishes, and it's funny how the finishes all seem to come together. I hope you've had a great stitching time too. I'm very excited about starting the mini Alice and Snow White Heaven and Earth design pattern on December the 1st. I'm not working that day. I don't have children that day, so I'm going to have an absolute ball stitching on it during the day while the kids are at school and daycare. So that's what So that's what I'm really looking forward to doing. I hope if you're doing that particular height, you have a fairly free day to stitch as well, just like me. I'm also excited about the Mirabilia sale. I've still got a little bit of money to spend on that project to kit it up. I've got the fabric, but I haven't bought any of the threads yet. I think I'll buy the DMCs first, so at least I can make a start on January the 1st. Well, thank you all for watching. I hope you're having a good week, and I look forward to seeing your videos and your updates if you make them. Take care. Bye.